have the tougher path to make it to the Super Bowl? The Packers or the Chiefs?
The Kansas City Chiefs. You know why?
Why?
Because they ain't that good. That's why. Because it's not.
I love you.
It's
How
not
about that?
because it's not the Kansas City Chiefs team that we've seen the last 3 years. It's not the Patrick Mahomes that we've seen for the last 3 years. This defense, when you look at the last 3 weeks of the season, isn't playing the caliber of football they were playing during their 8-game winning streak where they were holding.
But Ryan, Tyrann Mathieu said that he thought that this version of the Chiefs defense was the best that they've been.
It had been for 7 straight weeks, right? When they were holding people under 12 points per game. But so you go to Los Angeles and you don't have guys like Chris Jones. You don't have a guy like Willie Gay Jr. L'Jarius Sneed has to leave for personal reasons, and you don't play well there. And then you go and get absolutely shellacked against the Cincinnati Bengals, and you walk into Denver, you're fighting for the #1 overall seed and playing against a team who has a coach that won't be the coach the next day, playing against a team that won't be playing the next day, that has their bag packed, trying to figure out how to get out of Denver and get to some remote island where they can post Instagram pictures, and you let that become a dogfight. If you don't turn the football over, it's not a huge play by Bolton and Melvin Ingram, maybe you aren't even sitting at #2 for the playoffs. Is this team still really good? Yes. Do I believe this team is still the favorite in the AFC? I do. But this team may have to go on the road for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' playoff career. This team has to play in the first week of the playoffs for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' first playoff career. And I think that is going to be difficult for this team to overcome. Now, if they're sitting in SoFi in February, will I be surprised? Hell no. Will it be difficult? Absolutely.
This is why you're one of the best in the world at what you do, because you do not care about what people think. You are going to keep it 100 all the time and just tell you how to feel. I love that. I agree that it is the Chiefs. I do, and I think a lot of the points that you made, because this isn't the same, kind of overwhelming type of Chiefs that we've seen. And just the AFC is so much more stacked with the Bengals.
Yeah, that's
stacked. The Patriots are a good football team. Tennessee has the #1 seed and it hasn't had me. They've had me at tailback and not Derrick Henry and their monsters on the outside. Those guys, it looks like injury-wise, are coming back. That's why I think they're the team to beat. But I will say this. The Packers' road got tougher yesterday, and that was when the interception happened by Matthew Stafford to allow the San Francisco 49ers to get in.
Do you think is San Fran the scariest team in the NFC?
I think that San Francisco is the scariest team in the NFC.
Why?
You know what? No, I'll take that back. I think Dallas is the scariest team.
Okay.
I think when Dallas plays to their absolute A+ level, they are absolutely suffocating as a football team.
Right.
I think when they're
from a talent standpoint,
yes,
for sure.
When they play their best game, they're the most dangerous. San Francisco, I would put second.
Okay.
They're unapologetically who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They never allow the game to dictate or waver who they're going to be. They've got probably one of the most dynamic and unstoppable offensive players in football in Deebo Samuel.
Yeah.
George Kittle is a nightmare. Kyle Shanahan is brilliant and is always going to give his team a chance to play well both offensively in the run game and the pass game. I think DeMeco Ryans, their defensive coordinator, is going to be a head coach in the NFL in less than 5 years. What he has done with their defense is awesome, and that pass rush is getting going. And You've seen it the last maybe 5 or 6 weeks get going. The reason I say that they're a problem for Green Bay is, number one, if there was going to be one reason why Green Bay does not make it to the Super Bowl, I think overwhelmingly all of us would say because someone ran the football on them, held the ball, controlled the clock, and did not allow Aaron Rodgers to be on the field that much.
The 49ers can do that.
The 49ers, I feel like, are the best team in the NFC to do that. And then their coaches know each other really well.
Yeah.
Like, Kyle knows Matt LaFleur incredibly well. He taught him so much. And I think that is an advantage for San Francisco.
Yeah, and that's what makes the playoffs great, though, right? There are teams that are fighting to get in the playoffs. We felt the same way about the Colts. We felt like the Colts would be a tough matchup for a team in the playoffs. And no disrespect, and then you look, and then you're at halftime of the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm thinking to myself, how lucky do these teams in the NFC feel that the 49ers might not make the playoffs? Like, they had the opportunity to play the Saints instead of them. And what makes it interesting to me for the Green Bay Packers is, as good as they've been all year, right, as good as their record is, it never felt dominant to me. The quarterback felt dominant, but not the team. And so it's going to be very interesting to see how these matchups fall and who they have to play.
Think about this. So, two things. It's almost like the quarterback and the trust thing. we had this NFL season for a reason. Like, this was the greatest NFL season. And yesterday was probably the greatest Sunday, certainly in my time of ever watching the NFL. We had this, everybody was in it till the end for a reason. There's a lot of really, really, really good football teams, and I don't know if there's anybody that's flat out dominant.
Yeah.
I'll say this,
It
Charlie.
felt like that the whole second half of the season, really.
So, like, I think there's so many teams that are the teams to beat, so to speak. And I'd say this, and we talked about this a little bit this morning. In the NFC, the only team that I would be shocked if they made it to the Super Bowl would be the Philadelphia Eagles. I think anybody else in the NFC can make it. And then in the AFC,
Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think the Steelers would be the team that would shock me. Maybe New England in that conversation a little bit-ish, but I still think they can get hot for 3 games. So think about that. 14 teams, and I think there's only 2 teams that we would really walk away being shocked if those teams were representing their conferences in the Super Bowl.
Both happen to be from Pennsylvania.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
I want to go back to Dan's comment about the Cowboys. He said he thinks they're the scariest team in the NFC.
If they play their best.
If they play their best. But the way you speak about the Niners, I feel like if Deebo Samuel gets going and the Cowboys can't get their rush defense where it needs to be, I feel like the Niners are scarier than the Cowboys. What do you think the Cowboys are scarier?
So here's what happens with the Cowboys. The Cowboys have the most stars. Right. The Cowboys have the most elite level talent-wise players, right? We look at Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, the 2 running backs. Defensively, you have Gregory, you have Lawrence, you have Michael Parsons, you have Trayvon Diggs. And so you're thinking about those players making splash plays and playing at the height of their game. The thing that makes the San Francisco 49ers so good is that they are so self-aware. When they walk into a stadium, they say, this is who I am. And this is who I'm going to be no matter what the score on the scoreboard says. And you have to outplay me in that arena. And I think that's why you don't want to play a team that can be that physical and will not back away from it.
Would you agree with this? I think the difference between those teams, there's a lot of differences. I think the San Francisco 49ers can win with their B game.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.